Hello Money Persians, welcome to Money Pers. Let's learn something new today. EMIL అంటే బజాజ్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ పేరుతో మన తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లో పాపులర్ గా ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ స్టోర్స్ రన్ చేస్తుంది కదా. ఆ కంపెనీ యొక్క ఐపీఓ వీడియోని మన ఛానల్లో ఆల్రెడీ రిలీజ్ చేసాం. ఆ ఐపీఓ అనాలిసిస్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనకు కనిపించిన ఛాలెంజెస్ ని మేనేజ్మెంట్ ని డైరెక్ట్ గా అడిగినట్టయితే మనకు ఇంకొంచెం క్లారిటీ లభిస్తుంది కదా అన్నట్టుగా మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ కోసం ప్రయత్నించాం. దానికి మేనేజ్మెంట్ కూడా అంగీకరించారు. సో ఈ కంపెనీపై మాకున్న క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్నిటిని మేనేజ్మెంట్ ని అడిగాం. మేనేజ్మెంట్ కూడా క్లియర్ గా ఆన్సర్ చేశారు. మేనేజ్మెంట్ ని ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేసి ఈ వీడియో రూపంలో మీకు షేర్ చేయడానికి మేము చేసిన ఈ చిన్ని ప్రయత్నం మీకు నచ్చినట్టయితే వీడియోని ఇక్కడే లైక్ చేయండి. ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఇచ్చే లైక్సే మాకు చాలా ఎంకరేజింగ్గా ఉంటాయి. ఆన్ దిస్ నోట్, లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్ ది ఇంటర్వ్యూ నౌ. Hi, Mr. Bajaj.
Hello.
Can you brief me about EMI and what exactly it is, how exactly it started, and history about it?
Sure. So EMI was formed back in 1980 by my father, Mr. Pawan Bajaj. He's the chairman and the managing director of the company today. So it was started with the first store in Hyderabad, which is a 500 square feet store. And with all the love that we got from Hyderabad, AP and Telangana, we've started expanding, and then now we've grown to become a chain of 110 plus stores with operating in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and now Delhi NCR as well. That is the brief on the company, that how we started off, and today we operate multiple stores across its region.
You run EMI in cluster manner, right?
Correct.
What are the parameters you seek to select a store, and what is that you look at?
Correct. So we look at, so what we've done in the past also is we've expanded in clusters. So rather than opening stores across the country, we've concentrated on one single city first or a single region, and then that's how we expanded. So we started off expanding first in Hyderabad, then in the upcountry of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh together. So we opened our first store in Andhra Pradesh in Tirupati city, and then from there on we started expanding. So the idea was that, we look at a geography, we look at a cluster, the market size, the availability of customers, the TG audience that we want to cater to, and that is how we look at opening a store. The size of the stores are average between 8 to 10,000 square feet. That is an average store size that we come up with. Idea is to showcase the best brands and the technology that we have across all the categories. So you will find televisions, mobile phones, laptops, kitchen appliances, built-in appliances, ACs, refrigerator, washing machine, the major categories across all the stores. So the display is very similar. The brands that we deal are all same across all the stores. So there is no differentiation. Definitely, yes, there is a differentiation in the product mix in terms of the categorization of that particular city that we open a store in. So the plan is that we look at a geography and then size, and then that's when we decide that we want to open a store in that region or not.
So you operate with different brands.
Correct.
So what exactly this kitchen stories you have? You have kitchen stories. You have audio beyond, and you have EMI.
Correct.
What is the difference in kitchen stories and what is the difference in audio beyond?
Sure. So this multi-brand stores that we run under the brand name of Bajaj Electronics and Electronics Mart in Delhi NCR. These are stores where you find everything under one roof. Kitchen stories and audio and beyond are specialized stores. So kitchen stories deals with built-in appliances for brands like Gaggenov, Bora, Asco, Bosch, Siemens, and a very high-end range of wine chillers, inbuilt appliances, hob and chimney, that kind of product categories. That is in partnership with a modular kitchen company called 𝐻𝐿 from Germany. So we've displayed the kitchens as well there. Apart from that, audio and beyond is a specialized store. So post-COVID, we saw huge demand coming in for projector screens, home cinema. People who wanted better sound output when they buy a big TV, or a projector screen. So that is when we decided that we would open an exclusive store, which we launched this February. And so it showcases home cinema, home automation, networking, and security solutions.
Okay. You mean to say post-COVID only you have started this concept stores? Kitchen stories?
Absolutely.
Kitchen stories also post-COVID?
Kitchen stories we opened in September of 2020, and February of 22 is when we launched Audio and Beyond.
Okay, very recently.
Yes, very recently.
So what is the minimum cost to set up an entire store, and what is the turnaround time to break in?
Sure. So what we look at is, we look at setting up almost 10,000 square feet store with a capital expenditure of around 2.5 crore rupees. That is 2,500 rupees approximately a square feet. That is what we look at in making up the store, and a similar cost goes into the display and the backup inventory for that particular store. And the stock definitely would vary between different seasons, as I told you. Summer ho gaya, Diwali, Dasera ho gaya, 2 big seasons there. Apart from this, we look at the store maturity. Break even would be a different calculation. We look at the store maturity. The pehla, dusra, teesra saal, that is when we look at the store getting more mature, because it takes a little time for a store to establish a new market. And then we look at a long-term strategy for any store. So we look at a product mix that we are already strong in. So that is what we concentrate more. Like productivity per store has to be very important for us.
Presently, if you see, your major stores are in AP and Telangana.
Correct.
Okay. Now you are starting at NCR. And very recently you have started 8 stores, I believe.
Yes.
Why exactly NCR? You should have gone to southern region Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely.
Why? Because you are running in a cluster way. So that would have been beneficial for you rather than going to NCR.
Correct. So the first rationale for that is when we go into a new market, we look at the markets as I mentioned earlier. So the idea is that India, every state is a different country if you ask me. So you have to treat it in a different country or a different region altogether. So no two states, though nearby states also, no two states are very similar in terms of the product mix or the geography that they put, the product categorization is there. So weather plays an important role. अगर आप summer products बेच रहे हो, like AC cooler product range बहुत different रहती है because अगर जहाँ पर ठंड पड़ती है वहाँ पर not necessary कि AC cooler बिकेगा गर्मी में. So it is a mix of the market size, the product categorization, the product mix that we are strong in. Apart from this, we look at the competition scenario. So there are a lot of reasons for us to go to NCR. So the initial effort that we would put in or the investment that we put in any state nearby or as far as Delhi NCR, it would be the same effort or the capital intensive business that we are into. The deployed would be similar. So either south or north. So that's when we chose.
Will it be actually why I was thinking? So as you are running in a cluster manner,
right.
So it would have been better to manage inventory rather than keeping it in.
So the inventory is all anyways coming in from the OEMs directly. So they have warehouses across the country. So for us, it is nothing that, the purchase though is centralized, but the delivery of stocks are all decentralized depending on the particular region that we need the deliveries for. So that way it is all managed by the brands themselves. So it's not much of a headache if you go to any state.
So like just why I was asking this question in sense, you are setting up a warehouse with the fundraise from IPO, right?
Correct.
So instead, this warehouse which you already have, you would have been utilized well when it comes to.
So we won't be able to cater. We won't be able to cater to the nearby states also from here. Not that we can't, but the only thing is logistically transporting stocks is a big and a heavy business. So let it be transporting stocks from Hyderabad to Vijayawada or transporting from Hyderabad to Bangalore or Chennai for that matter. So everything has to be procured locally first. So you can't transport so much stocks every day. Then you become a logistic company and not a trading company. So idea was that to decentralize everything. So even Hyderabad for that matter, for every large cluster that we are into, we have a large warehouse. So we don't have one large central warehouse. We have smaller warehouses across the city so that our deliveries are faster. So that's the model that we work on.
Next, my question would be for you, Mr. Bajaj, is if you see right now you are opening stores with the name of EMI in NCR.
Correct.
Whereas you are familiar here in Hyderabad or AP and Telangana with the brand Bajaj Electronics.
Correct.
Then why with EMI? There is a case which is on with Bajaj Electrics. How exactly it is going to hurt you if it goes in their favor?
So the matter is sub judice in court. So the matter was filed by Bajaj Electricals a couple of years back in Bombay High Court, and we've opted for the best legal opinion that we can. So until unless the matter doesn't have an order been passed by the court, so we can't actually comment on it. So we wanted to start our expansion. So we wanted to make sure that we create a different identity going forward, and that is the decision that we've taken for Electronics Smart to be named, the stores to be named as Electronics Smart in that region going forward.
So is that not going to hit you because you are popular here in AP?
So until unless the matter has been cleared out by the court, so I can't make a judgment on that. So I wish I could. But
precautiously you're opening right now.
Yes. So we want to create a parallel brand as well. That's why we've taken a decision opening the brands under Electronics Smart and not Bajaj Electronics in that region.
Okay, you have 93 stores in LTL.
Yes.
So and you have 8 stores on own, and so what's the recurring expense for you in that LTL, and what's the duration for agreement?
So usually we sign up leases upwards of 15 years. That is what we look at, and it's all market terms, standard market terms that are operated for a lease agreement. Yeah, so that is all standard that way. So there is properties that we buy completely. If there is a rationale, we feel that the right location or the right property, the pricing that we get at. At the same time, we lease out few properties, and there is a mix of both lease out and buying out on the same property.
Yeah, 8 properties you have in that lease out.
Yes.
So what's the recurring expense which you have?
So that has been mentioned in the RHP as well. So there is definitely a cost involved, but that comes out to around 1.5% approximately on the top line that we have. That is the rental cost that we pay.
1.5% on the top line. So currently your revenues from mobile is 34% around.
Yes.
And if you see aggressively the online market is growing.
Yeah.
So then how do you see this when it comes to you? You are also present in online.
Correct.
But the revenues there are only 1%.
Correct.
1%. So is that not going to impact because you are working towards retail store rather than going towards online?
Correct.
So what exactly your strategy is behind this?
Right. So our strategy going forward also would be concentrating more on offline stores. So that is what our strength is, and that is what we believe that the market is there is a huge market there, and with with more technological changes coming in, there is always a opportunity in every market. Plus the ASPs go up. So 5-7 years back, it used to be color TVs or feature phones, for example. Today it is LCD LEDs with smartphones coming into play. So every 5-6 years there is a technological change that happens. People once get onto a product, they keep on using it. So they want better products going forward. So that is what helps us develop new tech, showcase new technology on the floor. And that is why we work with top brands, so that we can showcase the latest and the best technology on the floor. And to answer your first question, which was on the online front, I think online is a complementary business. So doesn't matter if a customer goes online or offline. It is how a customer gets educated on buying a product, and then it is about your strength and how do you showcase your strength forward to the customer, or what is the experience that you give out on the floor. Because at the end of the day, selling the same product either online or offline, how do you differentiate yourself? What could be a USP that you will be selling it on? So that is how you differentiate and you create your own mark in the market, because the market itself is so huge and available. So you have to make sure that आप अपना उधर शेयर कैसे ले सकते हो. So that is what you look at rather than fighting out with everybody.
So what's your market share when it comes to AP and Telangana?
So market share I won't be able to tell you, but I can say that we are the largest. So we're the fourth largest in the country and largest in this particular region. So yeah, that is what I can just comment on.
Okay, how about the local peers which you have? In sense, when it comes to AP and Telangana, there are more stores developing beside you.
Correct.
And what's the challenges which you're facing, and how exactly you're tackling this?
So see, any business or any market, you have competition, and I think competition is always healthy. This is how do you differentiate yourself and how do you compete with them is more important. You got to keep your costs under control. You have to make sure that you're delivering the right experience out of the customer, availability of stocks, the right brands that you deal with, the great product mix that you got to have. So you got to showcase everything that you can under one roof. So all of these smaller details put together actually give you an edge over your competition. So it is more to do the detail that is required in detail. As simple as that.
So what's your 5 major brands which you operate with?
So the major brands that we operate across categories, so we have limited brands, but then definitely yes, few brands are available across all categories. The generic brands like Samsung, LG, for air conditioning will be Daikin, it would be Oppo, Vivo's for the mobile phones across categories. So as simple as Havells for kitchen appliances to an EOS Smith. So small to big brands across all the categories are available.
And last question, that would be when it comes to your margins.
Right.
It goes to your PAT margins are somewhere around 2.4%.
Correct.
How comfortable are you with 2.4% at your PAT margins?
Correct. So this is what we feel that compared to a lot of our peers, our PAT margins are in line. So the industry demands, so every industry demands a different number, right? So this is a very cutthroat competitive business. You have to be over the game. To make sure that you're controlling these margins. So you got to keep your costs under control, and this is the kind of margins that are being delivered for the last 5 years or so. So if you go back and look at our numbers from so many years, so the EBITDA would stand at 7%, the profit would be, but the PAT margin would be standing at 2.5% approximately. So that is the number that has been there in the past as well.
So going ahead, are you going to work on improvement of that? Because if you see 2019 to 2022, that there is 18 bips of down. So
correct. So that was FY21. Definitely there was an impact of the COVID year for the whole market. But then for FY21, FY23 Q1, if you look at the numbers, we are back.
And when compared to FY20 itself, FY22 we are down with 18 basis.
Yes. So that was majorly due to the seasonality and the lockdown that we still had. There were a lot of restrictions that we were going through. So we could not open and launch a lot of stores. There were a lot of costs that were involved. So there was definitely hit during even FY20 Q4 because COVID started probably by the second week of March. So we were under restriction by the 23rd of March. So we had lost 10-15 days of business there as well. We lost the Q1 of FY21, and then there was the second wave, and then we got impacted in the FY22 as well. Whereas our cost or our everything remained the same. So you got to make sure that how do you differentiate that and go forward from there on, because we didn't want to reduce our costs in a lot of heads, and we continued with the same. If you go back to the 23 Q1 numbers, you would be seeing a similar flavor that we had delivered in the past.
Can we expect since the margins to improve more?
So I wouldn't be able to comment on that, but then definitely yes, every business would thrive to make sure that things get better for them.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Vijay.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
ఈ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో మనకున్న డౌట్స్ పై మేనేజ్మెంట్ వ్యూ విన్నారు కదా. అంతేకాకుండా ఈ ఈఎంఐల యొక్క బ్రాండ్స్ అయినా కిచెన్ స్టోరీస్, ఆడియో అండ్ బియాండ్ లాంటి కాన్సెప్ట్ సెల్లింగ్ స్టోర్స్ గురించి కూడా మనకు క్లారిటీ లభించింది. దట్స్ ఇట్ ఫర్ దిస్ వీడియో గైస్. ఈ వీడియో ద్వారా మేనేజ్మెంట్ వ్యూని మీ ముందుకు తీసుకురావడానికి మేము చేసిన ఈ ప్రయత్నం మీకు నచ్చినట్టయితే వీడియోని లైక్ చేయండి. మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ అండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ మెంబర్స్కి యూస్ఫుల్ అవుతుందంటే వాళ్ళకి షేర్ చేయండి. ఈ ఐపీఓపై డీటెయిల్ అనాలిసిస్ చేస్తూ వీడియోని ఆల్రెడీ అప్లోడ్ చేసాం మన ఛానల్లో. ఇంతవరకు మీరు చూడనట్టయితే ఖచ్చితంగా చూడడానికి ప్రయత్నించండి. చూసినట్టయితే ఈ కంపెనీకి సంబంధించిన డీటెయిల్డ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మీకు లభిస్తుంది. ఇదే గనక మీరు మన ఛానల్కి ఫస్ట్ టైం వచ్చినట్టయితే ఇక్కడ ఉన్న మన ఛానల్ లోగోపై క్లిక్ చేసి సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేస్తూ పక్కనున్న బెల్ ఐకాన్లోని ఆల్ నోటిఫికేషన్స్ యాక్టివేట్ చేసుకోండి. నేను మీ రైజ్ భాష మరొక ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ వీడియోతో కలుస్తాను. టిల్ దెన్ గుడ్ బై.